Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
why I love cello.
Absolutely stunning.
Cello is my favorite. Thank you very much, and thank you for bringing the cello music to our auditions today. And bravo to your accompanist for great support of your
Yeah.
performance. Yeah, Albert, we are going to interview the judges now. Let's start with whoever wants to go first.
I can be really short if you want.
Please declare.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. I have nothing to say. It was just tremendous performance in every way. It's what I'm talking about. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Wow,
Absolutely
this shows.
sensational.
Thank you, bravo.
Thank you.
Sensational.
Oh yes. Great opening. It was very very dramatic opening. In fact, that's one of the things I like most about Dvorak is the drama of his music, and so you definitely had that, Albert. There's a lot of drama all throughout this movement, which was well done. And I wondered. I'm not a string player. I'm a brass player, and I'm wondering on some of the passages where you seem to kind of gliss up into the upper note of the passage. And sometimes I'm wondering, is that intentional or is that not really what you wanted?
Um, yeah, so if I think what you're talking about is like at the end of kind of like the first or the second section, there's like a big gliss
Yeah.
up to like the
Oh,
note.
well, that one. Yeah, I know that one. What I meant is some of the lyric passages, and then when it goes up to the top note, you hear a little gliss, and I'm wondering,
Yeah.
is that
I mean,
is that
that's kind of just like based on interpretation, the way like
okay?
yeah.
And some of those passages where you would touch on the melody, I was hoping, I was wishing that you would linger a little bit more as you got into the melody, up at the climax of the melody line. If you could, I was just hoping for a little bit more lingering there at the top. So I felt it was a little bit rushed sometimes. But each time you touched on that beautiful melody, it left me wanting more. I want to hear more of this now, which is good for you. I may go put this on my CD player after this. And just one thing, I think that piano needs to be tuned. The cello and the piano didn't agree sometimes, but I'm blaming it on the piano.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing. Let's just tune the piano. Okay,
Nicole?
so Nicole.
Yes, thank you. Bravo on your performance. It was wonderful to hear you. I learned something from you watching you today. I noticed how you started your vibrato before you started your first note. And I know that probably string players do that a lot, but I don't think I've ever noticed it so obviously. So that was neat. It really made me think about the breath and how we bring that forth from our instruments. And yes, of course, you'd want to start it warmly and you'd want to rev it up that way. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I did notice that it's like air for a wind player, the way you were doing that. I have to agree with Jamie. I was really taken once we got to that Dvorakian theme the first time, and it was really beautifully played. Very nice interpretation. I liked that.
Thank you.
I just have two little comments that I'd like to make. I think sometimes your sound is really forward, and it could just be your mic setup. And yes, we can talk about piano and that sort of blend. I just feel like it's your sound that sounds so forward, and there's like just I'd love to hear what happens with a little bit of exploration of the subtle tone, the little not just dynamics. I'm talking about color, I guess. Just where, and I know that especially in this gripping first movement, without us getting to hear you play a slow movement, it's probably a little unfair comment. But I'm just noticing that. And what if someone just gets to hear you play this movement? How can you show us that subtlety? You've gripped us, you've pulled us in with your dramaticism. Is there some place to put that in your playing? And the other thing was intonation. I do think there might be some places for you to think about this in your playing. I don't think it was all completely piano, honestly. I think that's just an area to just continue on thinking it's so difficult. And it's just something ongoing. Perhaps it was the piano, I don't know, but I think there could be a little bit of improvement in that area. But I really did enjoy it. It was very gripping. I'm just offering this because that's my job to to give you some things to think about, as well as my kudos to your performance.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Albert, if you have any questions or disagreements with the judges or agreements, this is the moment for you to have this live and immediate interaction. Go for it.
I mean, I really appreciate the feedback. I think all the feedback is like really valuable for me to like keep continuing and exploring like more areas of this piece or more pieces. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which part of this concerto is your favorite?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think the beginning is like really catchy. But I think probably when it goes back to the second theme is probably my favorite part, because the first time you're kind of just like getting to like accept the music, and then the second time it goes back and it's in a different key, and I just think it sounds really good.
Wonderful. Do you ever, I have another question. Do you ever encounter situation where you play a big, massive piece like this concerto, and you like some parts really very much, and some other parts are like, okay, I can live with it, but let me just get to my favorite part. Does that ever happen to you?
I mean, sometimes, but like not really on like a big scale, because I think this concerto is like really beautiful, and I don't really dislike like any part of it, so I don't know.
That's how you sounded. That's why I asked the question, because you sounded like you were totally in love with every note of this concerto. And
Absolutely.
I was wondering if you worked towards it, or that was just a genuine, your own feelings about this concerto coming through.
I think it's like a bit of both, to be honest, because when starting, like I chose this piece because obviously like the melody and the tune is like really nice, but I also like learned to like accentuate that, I guess, a little bit. So
Wonderful. Okay, well, if any of the judges have any closing comments for Albert, if not, we'll be moving on to our next presenter. And
Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply. Fantastic. Well, off to we have the judges now. I really enjoyed your performance. I'm just waiting for you to get back. Let's start with Nicole. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, wonderful. Bravo. Such a joy to listen to you play. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and for doing this. I have a couple notes. I have to say, I really got drawn in by your cadenza in that first movement. I was listening, I was very into it, but then your harmonics and your cadenza just pulled me in for the rest of it, especially. I really, really enjoyed that. And just really enjoyed your expression. I've played with a couple guitarists over the years with chamber music and things, and you sound wonderful and like a person that I would love to collaborate with. So that's sort of what I use as a guide when I listen to people. I think, oh, would I want to make music with this person? And yeah, you sounded fantastic. So I just wanted to just compliment you on that, and just I really enjoyed the concerto. I did a little research before listening to this today, and just knowing that this is one that I guess that some people say is a little bit underrated, that
Yes.
more people should be doing it. So can you talk a little bit about your choice of the piece?
Yeah, so I studied in Northern Arizona University with Professor Tom Sheely, and he was actually a specialist in Ponce. And Ponce is one of those artists that he's my favorite artist. I can say that unequivocally. Like there's just something magical about the way he composes, the melodies he chooses, the chromaticism he uses. He just bridges all of these gaps, and especially the Concierto del Sur. There's something harmonically that draws you in. The virtuosity is not just within the scale work, but it's within the tonal colors that he chooses to use. And the instrumentation, especially, that's been such an interesting thing performing it with a piano, is that it's missing like the subtle colors throughout because it's just strings and woodwinds. And it brings so many images to mind. I also love that, Concierto del Sur, we don't exactly know which south Ponce is necessarily talking about. Like it could be Mexico, but some people have said there's Andalusian, isms throughout. So maybe it's southern Spain. It was premiered in South America, so there's that. But so there's just this wonderful, I get lost in a jungle when I play it. Like I feel like the mist, and I see very cinematic images as I play this piece. So
Wonderful. I was thinking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, so in choosing this piece, there's just something that's just so mysterious about it. That's why it's like my absolute favorite concerto of all time.
Was thinking how wonderful it would sound with orchestra. So yes, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Amazing. Jamie?
Well, Jay Curtis, first off, I thought you looked very nice up there. Your stage presence is really pleasing, and you just look very comfortable with the guitar. So I was very, very much enjoyed listening to you, and I was taken by in the Allegro so many moving notes and such clarity on the moving notes and very many ascending passages with all those 16th notes. I very much enjoyed that, and I too was impressed with the cadenza as Nicole mentioned, and I wasn't certain if it really was a cadenza, and I wondered how much direction did he offer you for that, or was that all of your interpretation there?
A lot of it's up to interpretation. He just lays out the notes, especially when we have those fast triplet passages. It doesn't give you much direction. I kind of view it as like an exercise in bringing the tonality of the guitar to life, because it's one of those moments where it's like, well, the notes just go over and over, and then all of a sudden you can explore this over the sound hole, near the bridge, and then near the neck, all within that, and then the colors just kind of transform, and it's lots of colors going throughout it, even if your notes are staying kind of static.
I think that was my favorite part, and also on the part where you brought your right hand up onto the frets. What do you call that? That was really nice.
Yeah, those are artificial harmonics. So I'm playing the note an octave higher because I'm plucking a harmonic, the same way you could pluck with your hand over the 12th fret, I'm bringing my hand, I'm actually able to move kind of the 12th fret away from this note around as I'm playing. And it's beautiful because it gives you this register that you don't normally have if you're just plucking the note normally. And especially in that moment in my mind, it becomes a shadow. That's how I see it. It's like the shadow of the melody as it kind of transforms and moves throughout. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, and the Andante was very nice job with showing such a contrast with that Andante. It was the color and feel for that was such a contrast to the first and third movement. So very nice job on that, and the dynamics in there were fabulous.
Thank you.
I really had to listen for some of those very soft parts, and then on to the end of the piece. It was really impressive. The festivo with the collaboration at the end with the piano and the guitar. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely a party at the end. Ponce has ended a couple pieces that way where it's like we get into a party mode.
Okay, now it's Dikran.
Yeah, it's very impressive performance. He wrote a nice harpsichord concerto too. Have you heard that?
I'm not familiar with the harpsichord concerto. I've listened to his piano and violin concertos.
Yeah, he wrote one. It's an interesting idiom that he writes in, and it's hard for me. It's hard to make sense out of it. But I thought you did a great job. The atonal fragments, to me, sometimes it reminds me a little bit of Rodrigo, and I'm glad to not hear the Concierto Ara Nueve for the 80th time.
Yeah,
which I can. Yeah, I really appreciate you playing this piece because it is different. The thing that struck me about it is that it was kind of rhythmically very metric. Is there a way that you can vary the rhythmic figuration so it doesn't sound like everything's in strict, time? Or is that some kind of attribute of the concerto?
I think part of it's some of the attribute of concerto. I think there is room. Let me think. The last one I will say it would best sit a little bit more metric feel because he does a great job of balancing against like threes and twos and kind of giving you this push-pull feel. So I feel like that's a case for the third movement, at least, for it to stay a little more that way. But absolutely in the second movement, I think there's much more movements many more parts probably where it could swell and it could like rhythmically swell and diminish and kind of push and pull a little bit. And then in the first movement.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems sometimes a little rhythmically monotonous because it's always right on the beat. Everything is, like little bullets. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I just think it can be a little freer.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just the impression I got. I think it can be freer, especially in those cadential points. And although I thought those were good, it's just that you could make the whole concerto like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Not so rhythmically steady, like just cut and dry.
Okay. Yeah.
But then again, I don't know the piece that well, but it just struck me that way. That's all. Otherwise, it's really fine performance.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, judges. It's been wonderful to hear all the feedback. And Jay Curtis, I hope to hear you soon. This is really wonderful playing, and I haven't heard this piece before, so thank you for bringing this to our virtual stage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a new piece to me as well, and I wanted to comment and give a round of applause to your wonderful accompanist for collaborating.
Yes. Yeah, Andrew. He walked out.
It's a new piece, and it doesn't sound like a very easy accompaniment at all.
Yeah.
So,
No.
So it must have been quite a bit of rehearsing to put it together. And I wanted to also say that I appreciate very much, Curtis, your knowledge and your fascination with the piece and how articulate you are expressing your relationship with the composer and the piece and the style of writing. This is very new music for me, and it was very interesting to listen to, and was very interesting to listen to your descriptions and explanation. That's a very important part of being an artist today, and I appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Yeah, and thank you all the judges for having me. I really appreciate all this feedback, especially with when I speak with other instrumentalists. I love hearing what you guys think about melody and color, because color is something that we can all play around with, and when you get to a certain level, you start doing that. So I very much appreciate everything everybody has said.
Thank you. Great. Wonderful.
Congratulations. Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall. So I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and join.